mistakes that make your ex never respect you again. And chances are you're making at least two. Sit down. Breathe. This is the part where boys panic and men get calm. You got dumped after brunch in Brooklyn. She soft-launched a new guy on Instagram from a rooftop in Miami. Your name's still blocked on her phone. And now the group chat knows you sent that 2 a.m. paragraph. Humiliation burns. Respect is gone. She looks at you like a memory, not a man. That ends tonight. I'm going to show you the masculine logic that flips the script in the United States of dating. The 3 respect killers every guy commits after a breakup, why they broadcast weakness louder than a Lakers game on Sunday, and the clean, cold adjustments that put you back in the frame. No begging, no bargaining, no let's talk over Starbucks. You will understand exactly what to stop doing in the next 24 hours, how to rebuild your presence so she feels the distance, and why silence, mission, and standards beat jealousy, drunk texts, and fake friendship. If you're new here, subscribe now. I drop straight, no-fluff strategy for men every week. And check the first pinned comment. There's a free, step-by-step breakdown to go deeper on respect, no contact, and how to regain your center without games. Because here's the truth. She didn't lose attraction overnight. She lost respect as you lost your edge. The third mistake is the one nice guys swear isn't a mistake at all, and it's the reason she never takes you seriously again. Before we start with mistake number 1, ask yourself, if she called you tonight from Austin, would you show up as the man she left or the man she regrets leaving? Then answer it in your head before you ever touch the phone. Because your instincts right now, they're wired for loss, not for leadership. This is where most men hand over the last of their dignity without even knowing it. You open Instagram like it's oxygen. You watch her stories from a burner account, fingers shaking, counting the views, searching reflections in a rooftop glass in Miami to see if that's his Yankees cap. You refresh her TikTok between sets at Planet Fitness. You circle her block by coincidence because her gym is on the way. That's not care. That's surveillance dressed as romance. And it broadcasts one thing. You have nothing else to do. You don't stop there. You compose paragraphs like a plea deal. You promise therapy, you promise church, you promise Cabo in October. Anything to rewind the tape. You send flowers to her office from Trader Joe's and a DoorDash latte that says, "We can talk?" You bargain with a woman who made up her mind. She hears the subtext, scarcity. A man with options doesn't beg. A man with mission doesn't negotiate his value in the comments. Then comes the collapse. You apologize for things you didn't do, and for things you did, and for simply breathing. You ask her friends to put in a good word. You DM her cousin. You volunteer to build her IKEA shelves as a peace offering. You show up at the bars she likes by chance and turn your shoulders small when you see her. Self-humiliation doesn't soften a heart. It hardens her certainty that you're no longer the man she met. And when the sun goes down, the bottle does the talking. 2 tequilas and your thumb grows brave. You send a 1:47 a.m. voice note that starts with "I'm fine" and ends with "I can't do this." You call, you hang up, you call again. In the morning, her group chat has the screenshots. Her best friend has a nickname for you. And you're waking up with a hangover and a new low. You think the problem is the whiskey. The problem is the emptiness the whiskey reveals. Finally, the most polite trap in America. Let's just be friends. You accept the demotion like it's a stepping stone. You become her on-call Uber, her tech support, her therapist who pays for coffee. You coach her through dates with other men, pretend you're okay, and die a little each time she says, "You're such a good guy." Understand this. Friendship with a woman you still want is not kindness. It's captivity. The nice guy thinks this isn't a mistake. It is the quietest form of self-betrayal. Pause, breathe, expectation reset. You're not here to play defense in the United States of dating. You're here to build a life that forces the world to take a number. That requires codes, not quotes for your notes app. Codes you enforce. Silence is policy, not punishment. You remove yourself from her channel like a CEO pulls a product off the shelf, not to spite, to signal standards. Access is earned, never assumed. You do not audition for someone who fired you. You don't perform worthiness. You live it. Mission before emotion. Work, health, money, craft. Men in motion magnetize, men in meltdown repulse. Never negotiate attraction. If she wants out, hold the door with steady hands. Your frame stays intact. No friendship with a woman you still desire. You choose either healing or access. You don't attempt both. You want proof this turns the air? Listen to Mark's story. He's not a celebrity. He's not a trust fund kid. Mark is 31, medical device rep in San Diego. Padres cap, old Corolla, 1 bedroom near North Park. He got dumped on a Thursday at Phil's BBQ because she needed space after 3 years. He did what most men do. He checked her Spotify to see if she was listening to their playlist. He accidentally jogged past her spin studio in Mission Valley. He sent a heartfelt email his boss would have been proud of. Radio silence. Then she posted an ocean view from La Jolla with a shadow that wasn't his. He listened to what you're hearing now. He made 3 moves in 24 hours. He pulled the plug on access, unfollowed, muted, removed the shrine. He redirected his calendar. 5 a.m., cold shower, gym by 6, pipeline calls by 8, sales targets written in permanent marker. He planned his Saturdays like work, jiu-jitsu twice a week, surf lesson on Sundays, a course on negotiation instead of scrolling horror films in his head. No fanfare, no petty posts, no Drake captions. Week 2, the withdrawals hit. He wanted to text during the NFL Sunday lull. Instead, he ran a 5K on the boardwalk and cooked steak, because men who cook for themselves don't beg to be fed attention. Week 4, he moved apartments, new zip code, new routine, same phone number she no longer had access to. He didn't date to make her jealous. He dated with standards that made him proud. He wasn't chasing women. He was curating his life. Month 3, she appeared. "Hey, stranger," from a new number with a sunset from Sunset Cliffs. He didn't sprint, he didn't duck. He read it after finishing his set. He waited 24 hours, then responded like a man who hasn't been asleep, measured, short, warm, distant. She asked to catch up. He offered 2 options. A proper date next week at a time that worked for him, or nothing. No coffee, no just friends. She hesitated. He didn't. He went to the gym. A day later, she agreed. She showed up in the dress he once complimented. He showed up as the man she couldn't access for 3 months. She felt the difference immediately. He was listening, not leaning. He wasn't angry, he was anchored. He didn't bring up the past, he brought presence. She asked if they could take it slow. He said, "We don't repeat old patterns, we build new ones or we don't build." That night she understood. He became not a chapter, but a standard. And if she had said no, he would have finished his steak and slept like a lion anyway. That's what unreachable looks like. Available to life, not to chaos. You're thinking, but what if she moves on for good? She might. Sit with that. Because the point isn't her decision, it's your conversion. When you stop performing for her attention, you start performing for your future. When you cut the drip of her content, your brain detoxes. When you refuse the friend zone, you starve the dynamic that kept you small. You don't harden to women, you harden to disrespect. Another reset. Ask yourself, if your life was on trial, would the jury see evidence of leadership? Or would they see tabs open to her stories, late-night Uber receipts to nowhere, and a calendar full of sometime next week? This country rewards men who commit to a craft, to health, to standards. The market knows when you're faking. So do women. Here's the twist no one tells you. Silence isn't about making her chase. It's how you hear your own voice again. Mission isn't a trick to become more attractive. It's the only antidote to the shame spiral. Standards aren't threats, they're filters. And the friendship you think keeps you close is the exact thing that cements her certainty that you'll accept crumbs. Picture the next 30 days. You clean your feeds like a winter garage. Anything that drags you back gets donated. You change your gym hour so you don't orbit the same faces. You eat like an adult and sleep like a pro athlete. You book a dentist, a blood panel, and a meeting with your money. You write your non-negotiables on paper, not notes. And every time your mind reaches for her, you reach for a rep, a paragraph of a book, a call that makes you money, or a skill you'll be proud you learned in a year. Does she notice? Maybe. Maybe not. That's not your business. Your business is the man you're becoming while everyone else scrolls. Your business is the frame you hold when she eventually pops up from Austin with a, "We should talk," or from Miami with a, "You always understood me," or from down the street with a, "We can still be friends." You answer as a judge, not a defendant. Calm, grounded, decisive. Remember the codes: silence as policy, access as privilege, mission before emotion, no negotiation of attraction, no friendship with desire. You live them until they live in you. Because respect in America isn't an emoji reaction. It's the pattern people see when you think no one is watching. That's what separates the man she left from the man she regrets leaving. Now hold that thought. Because we're not done. You've seen the mistakes, you've felt the pull, you've tasted the discipline. In the final act, I'm going to hand you the sentence. The exact words to say if she calls tonight, the moves that end limbo in one conversation, and the line in the sand that either reignites respect or closes the book for good. Stay sharp. The verdict is next. Here's the verdict. If she calls tonight, you say this, calm, slow, final. Good to hear from you. I'm open to reconnecting under one condition. We meet for a real date next week, 7 p.m. Somewhere quiet, and talk like adults about a better dynamic. I don't do friends. If that doesn't work for you, I wish you well. Then you stop talking. Let silence do its job. If she tries to just catch up, you answer, I don't do casual with someone I've been intimate with. Take your time. If that changes, you know where to find me. She wants to relitigate the past. I'm not revisiting the breakup. I'm only interested in new patterns. If that's not your goal, I'm off the line. If she floats half answers, I don't do limbo. Reach out when you're clear. And you end the call first. Moves that end limbo in one conversation. One invitation, one standard, one window. You propose a time you can actually make. No coffee, no late night talk, no house visits. No resume, no speech. No, I've changed. Adults show, they don't sell. No friendship if desire exists, healing or access. Pick one. If she says yes, you confirm logistics and get off the phone. If she says maybe, you treat it as a no. If she says no, you hold the door, wish her well, and disappear. After the call, mute, refocus, move, gym, work, sleep like a pro. You never turn a verdict into a negotiation. Line in the sand, etched in concrete. We rebuild with clarity, consistency, and exclusivity. Or we don't rebuild at all. No back-channel texts, no drunk calls, no just one drink, no consulting her friends, no coaching her through other men. Your access is a privilege, not a public park. Remember the codes: short, steel, American as a court order. Silence is policy. Access is earned. Mission before emotion. Never negotiate attraction. No friendship where there's desire. Lead yourself. Always. This is how you reclaim respect in the United States of dating. Not with louder words, with a quieter spine. You're not punishing her. You're protecting your name. The market notices. So do women. And so will you when your reflection stops flinching. Now the mirror. If she never texts again, would your calendar still prove you're a leader? Would a jury see a man in motion or a man orbiting her Instagram? Open your bathroom cabinet tonight. Is it discipline or excuses? Your life is the testimony. Act like a man who knows he's under oath. If this hit home, subscribe. I drop straight strategy every week for men who'd rather build than beg. Like the video if you're done with limbo. And in the comments, write your one non-negotiable line in the sand. Set it, sign it, live it. Share this with the friend who keeps sending 2 a.m. paragraphs. Save a brother some dignity. Carve this word into your week standard. You know what to say, you know what to do. Respect isn't requested, it's enforced. Case closed.